Hi everybody, good morning. I'm continue doing junior penetration tester. Learn the practical skills required to start your career in professional penetration tester. I'm doing section 3 introduction to web hacking, walking and application. Uh, Walking an application, manually review a web application for security issues in only your browser's developer tool, hacking with just your browser, new tool or scripts. This is usually when you have the first and you're starting looking to the website. In this room, you learn how to manually review a web application for security issue using only the inbuilt tools in your browser. More often than not, automated security tools and scripts will miss many potential vulnerabilities and useful information. So we like the option to view both source, inspector, debugger, and network. So basically, when you start the machine, you get the link. You can access the link through your browser. This is my link here. You end up in this page. Okay, let's start this room. The first thing, exploring the website. Basically, you go through the website. As a pen tester, your role when reviewing a website or web application is to discover features that could potentially be valuable and attempt to exploit them to assess whether or not they are. These features are usually part of the website that require some interactive with the user. So basically, you just look, you go manually clicking on the page and see what you find, like a home page, a news page, article, contact page, customer login, customer sign up, reset password, dashboard, things like that. So for example, if we go to our application here, you can start, okay, this is the home page. You just checking around, okay, I have the three article. You can start opening them and see which one you think is interested. Uh, for example, you see now that's you need find information there. If you don't find, for example, here this one doesn't have. This one says sorry, this article is for our premium cast, so this one is interesting. So you can think about it as an interesting page. For example, you can leave this, for example, as an interesting one. And then you have a contact. Oh, I have a form. You think if this form has vulnerability, for example, then you have to customer. Or customer, you said, oh, you don't have a account. Usually try off. If I sign up and it's free, what can I find if I sign up? What's the reset? Is the issue in the reset password, email, things like that. So you start just clicking around to see how this application react. So you get an overall what the application do. The next stage, of course, is the page source is the human readable code returned to our browser client from the web server each time we make a request. It basically is an HTML, hypertext markup language, CSS, and JavaScript code. That's usually what's returned to your browser. A different way you can view them, for example, here you can read, but let's practice in the page to have that. So for example, what we can do, for example, if I'm in the home page here, you can see this nice image, text, something else that. Yeah, either you go to Firefox. If I'm using Firefox, you can see where is more tools, and you can see web developer tool, or you just click no, not doing, sorry, we're doing the page source. You just create right click in the image and click view page source, and then you can see you get a page source like that. So in real application life, you start from the top and see, for example, when you see this sign like that, this is an HTML comment. So basically from this one to the closing one, all of this between them, you don't see them. That's why you don't see it here in the page. You can see it. So but in the back end, you can see there is something here. Now for example, here tell you this page is temporary while we work in the new home page, and it tell you the home page is this. So you can say, okay, so if this is the new home page, I can just go the same URL at the end and I just put the new and see what happens, and then we can the comment. That's give us the first answer for the first question, I think, the one that said what is the flag from HTML comment. If we go down, so we got this one. So if we continue down, usually the meta, so that's fine. The links of CSS usually is not too much concentrate on it. We don't. Then if you scroll down, you can see the linking that you have in the menu: news, contact us. For example, this is no, that's nothing. Then you have, for example, here we discover things, because remember we're not doing GoBuster things to do directory enumeration. So here we can see there is an asset and then there is an image. So a question to see what's else inside this one. So we can do the same things we did here. This one said a new home, so we can go now to this folder and see what's inside. What can we find inside it? The room is still on. What's going on here? That's strange. Why are you not showing me anything? Assets. No, I don't know why this tab is it's like it's dead or something. So if because now you can see now our investigation, we're only just using the browser, so we can see this asset there. And you can see now in real life usually you will not see that, because there will be an index file here, index.html or index.php. So usually it's a blank and you see only white page, or if it doesn't exist, the server like Apache or something will tell you forbidden. So usually you need other tricks. So for here we can see we find the flag, and interesting we have also this one. Remember the GS are always interesting. They're always interesting file. But for now, yeah, this one for example, jQuery is the standard, so we are more interested in this one. If you're doing a proper investigation, you do this one. And then we have our flag. So we got our flag for, this is the directory flag, I think, the question that talk about the secret link. The directory flag, we got the directory flag. So let's go back now, we got that. So let's go back to that's our home page. We continue, as let's continue. This one is a flash mini. For now we are not using it, but let's keep it for now. The next one is this site.js is posting to contact.msg, so it's more, I think we can guess it's about the contact form. So it's about more related to the contact form, because you can see it has that send to contact. Now we got the asset, so we got that part. Then we have this part now. It said you our dedicated stuff. This one we saw. This one, it's this line in the home page. Ironically enough, when we read our dedicated stuff already, we don't, because when you see like that, you don't know, you think is a link. But if you look for the code A in HTML, it means it has a link, and we have a secret page here. So interesting, we have a secret dash page, and the link is in 2. Of course, you can open this one straight from here in the source code, and the source code will show you the flag that you're looking for. But same time, you can just go to your because we know that the where to is where the link is, so you put your mouse on top of TO to, you just open it, and then you get the secret link that we're looking for. So that's our secret link. Now if I continue, just go to the home page, let's continue to what we find here. So if we scroll down, remember we go to that site, yes, this is interested for us. If we continue down, it tell you paginated in 003, second using THM framework v12, and they give you the link for it. So if I go now to this link now and open it in open a new tab, so we got this one which tells us TryHackMe web framework home, and there is a current version 1.3. We have changelog and we have documentation. Let's open both of them. The changelog, he said you have issue where our backup process was created a file, the web directory called temporary zip, so something create temporary zip. And then we have it said here documentation is pre-installed in your website administration portal. Once you have installed the framework, navigate to th logins and password. It said admin. So if I go this, and then I can go open, this is the, we have temporary.zip. So if we go there, we're gonna do slash, what's going on here? And I put that T framework login, and it tells us we can use admin. What's going on? And then we got a flag, but let's hold on it. But remember, there's also this one. It said what it said here. It said there is a temporary zip file in the framework. So let's open another window so we can see it. So they said it's a temporary tm.zip, and now we open, if we open a temperf, we get this file. Why is not zooming? And we have this a new flag that that you can see. Where is the zoom in this thing? So we have two flags, this one and we have this one, sorry, not you, and we have this one. So if you look in the answer, it said what is the framework flag. I think it's not this one. I tried that one. I think it's this one. Keep your software updated. Let's start test this one. Yeah, so it's not this one, so it's that one. So we got this flag, so we cool. Let's go back to our home page, and that's our SMA support. Now we're done with the next one is developer tool inspector. Now it gives you an example if you have different Chrome. We'll practice now in Firefox, but same principle in other browser. So now develop every modern browser include developer tools. This is toolkit used to aid web developer in debugging web application and give you a peek under the hood of website to see what's going on. As a pen tester, we can leverage this tool to provide us with much better understanding. That's now we trying to remember that page that we said is interesting, and now let's get the flag of it. Let's remember that page that we said is interested, not this one. Where is it? Did we close it? Okay, let's go back. It was in news, and it was the third one. No, remember we saw these things. Let's minimize the browser zoom. So basically here what it means, you go and he said this article is for our premium customer. Please talk to a member of staff about updating your account today. So now you want to see what's going on. Of course, before we did this, we go view page source and look what's going on inside, and look, for example, here we can see there's a printer there. That's the printer, we can see there's a printer there, but we don't see it here. And then class image flag, so something there in that dev. And where is the text? He said this article is of price. So we don't see this text. Don't feel the most day the printer isn't. You see this text is behind this thing. So one thing to say, because this printer, you can argue a different way to do it. The image, if we look for the image, it will be in the asset. Remember that link that we talked about it before, that asset folder. So if we look for all images, we have the printer image, shaking hands and stuff. So where TryHackMe hide that? We'll come back to it. We see where is it. We'll figure out. We have avatars here. We'll come back to this folder. But for example, when you are something like that, you want to see this what's behind. You just put your mouse on top of it and you click inspect. Now you can also change this, because if you want to see it, you can do this. Sorry, this is mobile. You can switch to right, for example. I want to see it in this side, so it can easier for us to work on it. Let's close that one. So if let me put this one in zoom. So the top, because it's zoomed, you see it like that. So the inspector show you the code in the top. You see when you hover the mouse, you can see it's moving there. For us, we're more interested in this one. Remember, we did this on top of this block. If you go into this, it already show you the class. So the block, it start from this, where is highlighted now. Hold on. This line, class premium customer blocked. You can see it's written blocked. Now what exactly here? And then you have that printer. Remember, we talked about it. So if we go down now to the CSS, this is the class. If I click on it, you can see it hovers. So we are in the right place. Now it's a display block. In Firefox like that, you can just untick this. You see it's ticked there, you just untick. No, it doesn't work for this Firefox. No, display, you see position is absolute. Absolute, it mean it need to be there. But if we untick this one, you can see it, the position now become relative, and this will give us the hidden flag, not so hidden. So one way to do it is just untick that box. If we tick it back, it show. The next option, we can say in CSS, instead to say block, we said none. If I said none, you can see it show again. Let's go back to block, the original. So you have display block. We can untick the position. Now we have top 0, left 0, margin top 600. We can also increase the margin and top, for example, to push it down. So if I put 600, I can see that. Let me see. This is an image. Open image in new tab. I want to see where it came from. So you can see what you can do with we can put this back. As I said, we can put those. So now it's hidden again. So we just highlight with the mouse and inspect, and it will tell you exactly what is it. You can even go further. For example, I can go to this HTML and I click edit as an HTML, and you just remove this. You don't need to have the class. You just type anything, kill the class. You see now, and then just type anywhere. Now it remove it, because now there is no this random class that we rename it now. Then you get this. So you can control how the browser react. And now we got this. Let me see that image where it came from. Oh, it's not, that's why I couldn't find it. It's a base 64. You can see it's a base 64. When you go back in in your study, you know sometimes they do, but where it was put in base 64, so we don't. That's why we didn't find it in here. So we would not be lazy. It's a base 64 image. So that's fine. It said not so hidden. So now we got this TryHackMe not so hidden, and that's our flag. The next one is Debugger. Debugger, this panel is a developer tool, is intended for debugging JavaScript. So basically more about JavaScript. And again, is an excellent feature for web developer wanting to work out why something might not be working, but penetration tester, it gives us an option to dig in deep into JavaScript code. That's why it's good to learn JavaScript for pen tester. Now, let's practice now in this story that's showing here. This story, it's basically which page is this one? Dun, dun, dun. Click line number. Okay, we do that. Which page is this one? Okay, let's find this page. That's IT support. Let's go back to our skin there. Which page that has that flashing? Is it customer? No, it is it contact. Not contact. Which page is doing it? On IT support website, click on the contact page. Each time the page is loaded, you might notice a rapid flash of red screen. Oh, the contact page. Why I didn't see this red flash? Oh, this is. You can see it just too fast. It's too fast. It come red here. Now we're doing the debuggers. That's our debugger because I'm zooming it, guys, so we can see it in the screen. So if you go to asset, you can see uh, there's a flash min, because remember when we do this contact, there's a red flash in here, and that's red is, and you can see now when you do this, the first thing you notice is it's one line, long line like that. You can see it's almost like how you read it. If you say, you can go scroll down left and right. If you look here in the bottom of the screen, you see when I'm putting my mouse in the bottom, there is this two pretty print source. If you click there, now you can see it. If you scroll down this script, because it's part of a skate, it's a type of script, you can see it was done, so you can it's not easy to read it. But at the end, you can see said set timeout function flash remove a file. So that's why we don't see it. That's why when you click contact, that thread is too fast. We don't see it. One thing in this is a debugger, so we can come there and say to Firefox, you know what? When you arrive to this point of flashing, click. Let's see, when you click in 109, it become blue. And this is what it mean. It mean we did something. The breakpoint, same as malware analysis GDP when you do the breakpoints. So we have a breakpoint and the flash mini in set timeout function. So now we breaking the function. So the code will go around and here stop. So if I do now refresh the page again, contact, now it's stop. You see, it's stop. So where is stop? Of course, is stop in the bottom here. That's why it's stop. And we can see now that if you read here, you can see it. It's a THM catch me if you can. So this is what was hidden. and that's exactly what this scenario here. So when you click there, in this it said 48, in our case it's not 48, and we can get now TryHackMe catch me if you can, and that's our flag. I hope guys you got it. So you can see now, if I do finish, it will disappear, so it will stop. If I do it again, it will show and stop, so I can control it. So now we did this. Now we can go to the next one. The next one is, and this is very important. Whenever you start web application testing, always start with this one: network developer tool network. The network tab on developer tools can be used to keep track of every external request a web page make, or API calls that you usually sometimes you don't see them. So you start a network there. Let's do, for example, to show you. So basically, if when I start application, let's say, even if I go to home page, I always go to network. For example, you can delete there. So you start your application. Let's refresh it, and it tell you what the website is doing. You can see he's going to get that first HTML. He got the picture stuff. Then he download that GS. He's download the GS bootstrap and do the site and favicon. For example, if I tell him go to the contact page, we still have that. We didn't remove it. We need to remove it, so you can. If you want to remove it, just click on it again. So let's go back to network. If I click there in contact, now it tell me, for example, there is a new file. You remember in the home page we didn't see this one, so we can see this one is part of the contact us page. So it's good to know this one. So if we go now to the question, it said examine new entry on the network tab that the contact form create and view the page in data. So basically, let's go to the contact page. You can see what we have here. Now if I test, for example, the form, let's test message. Now if I click send a message, it pop up and tell me contact form sent, place OK. And then who did the sending? You can see here is a post request. You can see it was a post request. If I click on it now, it gives me all the data of this thing. It tell me status is OK. It was sent to contact-msg. That's part of the website. Response header, and we have X flag header. This is not the flag because the format, it's not the one they're looking for. So there's another flag here in the header. And we have all that things there, and then we have the host and fetch site request. You can see what we did. That's what we sent in the form. You see it in the request. It's a post request. We have a response, and the response we have our flag message received, and that's our flag. So we can take our flag and we cool with the room. So basically that is the flag for the room. So you understand how so when you start always network something like that, an application, open your network to see what application is calling or is talking to. So this is a quick way room to give you some kind of transaction what you can do in the first 10 minutes when you start having an application or CTF or something. It's good to do what exactly this room is showing. So you start with all your like for example here, trick of base 64, the directories, checking the codes and all of that. Okay guys, thank you very much. Hope you like it. If you have a question, please let me know in the comment. Please subscribe and like, help the channel. Thank you and have a good day.